Hey, how'd my father die?
49 times we fought that beast, your old man and me. Had a chicken head with duck feet, with a woman's face too.
Oh, that's rad.
It was waiting in the bushes for us. Then it ripped off your dad's face. He was screaming something awful. In fact, there was this huge mess, and I had to change the floors.
The floors?
You see, his blood had drained into the boards, and I had to change them. But we all got a chicken duck woman thing waiting for us. Every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love. 'Cause something's waiting in the bushes for us. Something's waiting in the bushes of love. Yeah, every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love. Something's waiting in the bushes for us. Something's waiting in the bushes of love.
Yo, never knew my dad, he didn't care about me. Dead horizon is all my macro binoculars see. Moisture farming all my life and not a drop spilled. My aunt and uncle double sons and sipping blue milk. My aunt and uncle double sons, I'm sick of blue milk.
But then a desert hobo came and told me we all got a chicken duck woman thing waiting for us. Every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love. Something's waiting in the bushes for us. Yeah, something's waiting in the bushes of love. Yeah, every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love. Something's waiting in the bushes for us. Something's waiting in the bushes of love. Hold me when I open like a flower. Hold me right. Yeah, I ain't had to bake for a girl in a long time. A long time.
I think my cooking's awesome.
I've got her picture in my photo wagon.
I keep it poppin'.
Yeah, she'd probably love to honky tonk.
Probably love to honky tonk.
That's what I said. Waiting for us.
I used to ride across the desert, you know. I used to glide on my speeder of faith that I don't find what I don't wanna find. Waiting for me around the corner, oh no, no.
Waiting for us.
I used to ride across the desert, you know. I used to glide on my speeder of faith that I don't find anymore.
Crispy bodies by the door.
Do not wear that outfit again. But if you wanna keep your spleen, because I want to fit in. Sorry, you're just not terribly important to me. Did you know that Whitney Houston's debut her phone #1 single song? Did you know that Christy, there are no girls with good personalities? I don't think we should see each other anymore. It never was supposed
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Appreciating Comic Book Art Live. It is Tuesday night, 10 o'clock. Where else are you going to be? That's what I have to say. Welcome back, Kayla. How you doing? Are you
It
muted?
would help if I unmute myself, right?
You're gone for
I am
1
back.
week. 1 week
Yeah.
and you forget. Yeah.
I know, I forget everything. I'm not even blonde.
How you feeling? How you doing?
I'm
Good to see
feeling
you.
great. I'm excited to go through this Bernie Wrightson stuff. I can't wait to look at it.
Yeah, me too. For everybody that doesn't know, this was supposed to be our Halloween episode. We were going to do this last Tuesday, like right after Halloween. And I decided to push it back because Kayla was sick. And I didn't want to do it without Kayla because this was kind of her thing. She sent me these books that we're going to look at today. And we got some other art we're going to bring up as well. But just some awesome stuff by Bernie Wrightson. If you know, you know. I don't think I have to say anything other than that.
He has 3 out of the 4 issues because we
That's
were
true.
missing an issue. So, but you guys will enjoy what there is. It is not the artist edition because they were
unfortunately.
back ordered.
One day
So
we'll get
waiting
those.
for them. Well, when they come in, you will get one.
Yeah,
So.
one day, and we will definitely look at when that does happen because I definitely want to see that. Like I'm excited about that for sure. But until then, we got this, and we're gonna look at some fun art. We also have a guest coming on, Mark Poulton, who is the editor and co-writer on my book Reaver Destroyer, as well as things like Graveyard Shift, Loose Threads that is going that is ending tonight. Actually, it's the campaign is ending tonight, so we're gonna have him on in a little bit. We're gonna talk about that as well. Before we do that, let's say hey to the chat. We got Christopher Johns is a new member of the channel. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you very much. We got B Rose in the house. Fire.
Oh, yeah.
We got Rick Saylor as well. All members of the chat in here. Look at that. All members of this channel. Astro Zombie. Love you guys. We got Polis Arts.
Polis.
Hail to you. Hail to you. Did I say Tarks 9 already?
No.
Yeah. All right. Hail Tarks 9. That's already a bad start when I can't remember what I've said in 2 seconds. We got Aaron in the house. We also have Jay Ryan as well. Hail to you guys. Thank you for being here. Jay Lee, the man, the myth, the legend, my friend. Good to see you. We got Sumo Thori. Hail the chat. Hail to you. We got Edwin Aces. All right. Got a lot of people. We got Sheldon. Awesome. Good to see you guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. What?
I was muted for the whole week. Yeah, I was running around like X23 at the shop with all the tourists. I'm telling you.
That's true. It was a busy month for you.
It's been a busy life, I feel like.
Well, one day we'll have to go over what it's like to be you during the tourist season, because some of the videos and some of the pictures you've shared from your comic book shops that you're at during this time just looks absolutely insane.
Well, it's very Corey's here as well.
Hail, Corey. Good to see you, brother. Also got Edwin Ayala. Is that how you pronounce that?
Ayala.
Yes. Kill it, you too. Thank you. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. All right. Before we get started in this art, we get people still rolling in here. I know tonight is a big night. There's a lot of people streaming. Obviously, there was an election tonight. We don't really do politics on the show, so that's all I'm going to say. But I appreciate everybody that is here tonight, spending time with us. I want to bring on Mark, though, and just talk for a second about Loose Threads, because apparently I was just alerted that this campaign is shadow banned. What's up with that, Mark? Welcome to the show. And I'm sorry about that. That sucks.
Thanks for having me. So I was doing my show at 7 p.m., CG Revolution with Chris Graves, and the book was still searchable on Indiegogo. It was trending as one of the top books. And then we ended around 8:15, 8:20. Chris messaged me and said, "Hey, is your book shadow banned? I'm trying to back it and I can't find it." And I'm like, "What? No, I just checked." And I went and looked, and it's gone. You can't find it anywhere unless you have the direct link.
Oh, yeah, it's BS. I'm looking for it right now. It used to pop right up.
Yeah.
I can't find it. That's bullshit, man. That is some horseshit.
I don't understand why.
I don't know. I think Cordrath just got shadow banned today too.
For what?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Not
That's the
want
thing.
fantasy stories out there that are good or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Graveyard
Yeah,
Shift, Omega Storm, Shadow Band. Yeah, so
well, there is the link, everybody, for if
Thank
you were
you.
looking for it, follow a link to it, because right now you cannot type it into Indiegogo and find it. I'm gonna try Google.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, this whole shadow banning thing is getting absolutely ridiculous. Okay, I found it on Google. That's good. You can look it up on Google, type in loose thread comic book, and it actually pops up in there. That's something, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's unbelievable. Let me so you guys know what we're talking about, let me share the screen. So this is Mark's newest comic, doing very well at $15,000, $15,463, 215 backers, 5 hours left in the campaign. Unfortunately, shadow banned like so many other projects right now on IGG, which is, it's a shame, man. It's an absolute shame.
I don't understand why. There's nothing about this content at all that I think is worth being banned. It just makes absolute no sense to me. I'm completely puzzled.
Yeah, I mean, it makes even more sense that why you see people like Mandy doing her own site, and it's just, it might be one of those things where, who knows? I don't know what's going on with this, but this makes way too many to be a coincidence in my mind. Hail Chris Graves, we got Lorad in the house, as well as, who did I miss? Bordeaux's here. Bordeaux, good to see you. Give your channel a shout out. Yes, everybody go check out Bordeaux. If you have, actually, I'll make you a mod real quick. You can drop a link to make you a mod real quick. You can do it yourself and drop a link.
I don't understand it. I know at Death Curse we had an issue with our campaign where they withheld our funds for one of the covers that we had posted for a second chance campaign.
Well, I mean,
there's nothing violent here on this campaign. I mean, nothing overtly there's a sexy woman, but it's not overtly sexy. She's covered.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
No, I mean, it was good for the first 59 and a half days of the campaign. And then all of a sudden in the final hours, it gets shadow banned.
Yeah. To me, I feel like it's got to be somebody going around doing something, flagging certain things. It's way too much of a coincidence that so many of these Comicsgate books are being shadow banned right now. New ones, old ones, it's crazy. Yeah. But since we got it up, why don't you give us a quick rundown? We'll look at the trailer and we'll direct as many people to go get this book that is ending in 5 hours.
Sure. Loose Threads tells what happens to comic book characters when their series are canceled. I wrote it 10 years ago after getting fired by DC Comics twice in the same week on the same book, Savage Hawkman.
Yeah.
Rob Liefeld was plotting. I was writing the script. And one day I was leaving my day job. And as I walked to my car, I was checking my Twitter notifications. And I saw someone had tweeted, "Man, I sure hope Mark has a job after this." And I'm like, geez. Wow, that's what does he mean? And I sat in my car and I just read this thread and I saw that Rob had very publicly quit DC Comics. And I found out online that I no longer had a job. It wasn't until hours later that my editor reached out to me and said, "Hey, I guess you saw what happened today. It was really nice working with you. Sorry."
Jeez.
And then a couple days later, I was depressed. A couple days later, the editor actually called me and said, "Hey, we decided, we already paid for Rob's stories. We liked what you were doing. We're just going to bring you back and we're going to double your pay for your trouble." I was like, "Wow, this is fantastic. It's going to work out great for me." Not quite. I got straight to work and started writing issue 13, the script for it. And that day, Rob had got in a very public Twitter spat with Scott Snyder over Batman. Who sold Batman? Does Batman sell Batman or does Scott Snyder sell Batman? Scott believed he and Greg Capullo sold Batman.
Batman sells Batman.
Right.
And it was a very fiery debate between the two, and Dan DiDio and some higher ups did not like it, and since they couldn't take it out on Rob because he quit, they decided to fire who they considered his boy, me.
Jeez.
And the editor called me up and said, "Hey Mark, how you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm doing great. I just turned in the script for issue 13." And he said, "Well, I hope you're still doing great after this conversation."
Oh,
He goes, he told me straight out. He says, "You're getting fired to get back at Rob, but if they ask us we're going to say officially it was due to miscommunication."
wow.
Which I don't even know what that means, but
yeah, right. What the hell does that even mean?
So I was heartbroken, and so I'm so, I don't know, naive, but my biggest concern was what's going to happen to Hawkman, because we were in the middle of this big storyline, and it got me thinking, oh, that's a great idea for a comic. What happens to comic book characters when their series are canceled? So that's where the inspiration for Loose Threads, 10 years in the making, probably my most personal project.
Wow.
And I had the script, and it wasn't until artist Cesar Madaro reached out to me, who I've known for about 20 years. We were both members of the Rob Liefeld message board, and he reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you have any short stories I could draw?" And I said, "No, but I have this 80-page graphic novel if you're interested." And he just killed it. I was looking at his Twitter the other day. He only has 60 followers. That's criminal.
Really?
He should have thousands of followers. This guy is an art god, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's got to get out there more. He's got to market himself, if that's the case.
So I hope more people take notice to his artwork. He's fantastic. And he gave me the greatest gift ever. He gifted me with a George Perez cover for this book. So
yeah, I was going to say, explain how you got that, because that's pretty impressive. This could be one of George's last covers.
Yeah, very well could be his final cover. His last trip to Spain, Caesar went to Caesar's from Spain. He went to the comic book convention, and he pitched George his idea of a jam cover where George drew our main character, Queen Madeline, inside the crystal ball, and Caesar would draw the rest. And George agreed to do it and knocked it out in a couple hours before a scheduled dinner with other artists. So Caesar sent me pictures of him, George working on the piece, and I've shared them online. And I think it just turned out fantastic. George and Caesar, their styles complement each other. Anthony's George colored it beautifully. So it's a piece of history. I think I'm honored to have it as part of my campaign.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sumo Thori dropped the link for Cesar Madaro's Twitter. Everybody, if you get a chance, go follow him. Let's get those numbers up. Definitely talent we want to pay attention to. Let's take a look at this awesome trailer, which was narrated beautifully by someone very good looking. I heard. Let's see.
Did you narrate this, Joe?
Me? No.
What happens to your favorite comic book characters when their series are canceled? A group of heroes break into the real world to track down their creator and demand to finish their stories so they can fulfill their destinies. Written by Mark Poulton, writer and co-creator of Graveyard Shift. With art by Cesar Madaro. Comes this beautifully illustrated 80-page graphic novel. Featuring a jam cover by the legendary George Perez and Cesar Madaro. Loose Threads. Back it. Only on Indiegogo.
Yeah, it was awesome. That dude should do that professionally. Yeah.
I mean, there's dragons.
The book looks great. We got Jasper playing 9 in the house. Hail, Jasper. Good to see you, brother.
What's up, Jasper?
For anybody joining us right now, we are going to be getting to the Bernie Wrightson Frankenstein comics we're going to look at here in a little bit. We were just spending a little bit of time with Mark Poulton talking about Loose Threads, which is closing in about 5 hours. And we recently found out has been shadow banned on Indiegogo, so you cannot search it. I did test out Google. You can go on to Google and search Loose Threads comic book, and it'll pop up. You can go that way, or you can follow the link which we have put into the chat. I know that Sumo has dropped it a couple times in there, so we're trying to give a little bit of a spotlight on here with 5 hours left. Doing fantastic at $15,000, 215 backers. Sounds like a very, very fun book. I hope everybody goes and checks this out. Again, we're talking about the Jam cover with Cesar Madaro and the late, great George Perez as well. Just a beautiful looking thing. Very well could be one of his last actual covers that sees print. So history in the making right here. I would say definitely, if you get a chance, grab that for sure.
Yeah, beautiful artwork by Caesar, colors by Anthony George from Graveyard Shift. 80 pages, all the artwork is done, all the colors are done. It just needs to be lettered. Once I get the funds from Indiegogo, I'll send the book over to my letterer to finish that up. And I expect to start fulfilling by the end of the year. So
Nice.
Maybe this will be popping up under people's trees for Christmas.
Nice. That is awesome. Yeah, it's really kind of cool. The colors, I'm assuming, is this right off a pencil?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's got a different feel to it than what you see like in Graveyard Shift. I like how he kind of approached Caesar's art in this.
Yeah, it's a great so he colored Chris Graves' variant cover as well, and you can just tell like he works to the strengths of his artists.
Yeah.
So two different color styles on the same book with the same colors.
Yeah, that's good to have. I like it. It's good stuff. Definitely good stuff. Caught 5 up now. Were you behind again? You're always behind. You got to do the 2Xing. Glad you caught up, though. Glad you're caught up. What we say? Wait. Caesar's reference Sumo. What am I missing in the chat, guys? What I gotta say.
I
What am I missing? There's a link, everybody. There's a link because again, this is shadow banned, so you can't find it if you go to Indiegogo. Follow the links. I'll try to post a link into the comments or the information below after the stream is done, so that you can, if you were watching this later, you can have a link to go check this out. It's gonna be a fun book. Don't miss it. Yeah, it is an awesome page. It is an awesome page. Well, Mark, we're going to bring this up again a little bit later, and obviously you're more than welcome to stick around if you have something else to do, because I know it's a busy night with your closeout. By all means, if you got to go, do whatever you want, but we're going to look at some awesome Bernie Wrightson stuff if you want to stick around.
Before I go, can I share a Bernie Wrightson story?
Yes,
Yes.
you absolutely can.
So there used to be, it still takes place. There's a horror convention in New Jersey called Chiller Theater, and Bernie Wrightson used to be a guest like all the time. And it was when Marvel Knight's Punisher came out that he was appearing there. So I brought my Punisher Marvel Knights #1, which a lot of people don't like, but it's not because of Bernie Wrightson's art, because it's fantastic. It's because he's an avenging angel Punisher.
Oh, I never read it.
Yeah, great artwork by him. So I brought that. I brought a copy of the Weird #1 from DC Comics, where he got to draw the Justice League. And I brought with me the one-sheet poster to The Faculty, the teen horror movie.
Yeah, I love The Faculty when it came out.
He designed the creature in that. And
oh, really?
He was so excited to sign that poster because he apparently it wasn't well known that he had designed the creature. And his wife told me that it was the first time he ever got to sign something for The Faculty. So he was thrilled.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I thought that was just pretty cool.
That is badass, because I feel like he's done some creature designs in his career. I haven't really paid a lot of attention to, and I actually didn't know he designed the creature in that. So that's pretty cool. I used to love that movie when I was in my early 20s. Astro Zombie said he was backer number 236. I don't know if that's a brand new backer or not, because you're at 215. Let's refresh just to see. Yes, look at that. You got two new backers up to 217 now. Awesome.
At 16,000, all backers get a 6 a.m. sticker. So we're getting there.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, chat. You rule. You guys absolutely rule. Thank you, guys. New backer. Yes. You are the man, Astro Zombie. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Faculty was so awesome. The monster design was so Lovecraftian. Yeah, I gotta watch it again now. I gotta watch it again.
Faculty is great.
It was good. I always wanted Josh Hartnett's car in that movie. Like, I remember when I was younger, I was like, I need to get that car. I'm gonna mess my hair up too, so I can Get all the girls. Get all the chicks. Let me pause this real quick. So we are looking at Bernie Wrightson. This is our Halloween edition, guys. Just so you know, a week late because Kayla was sick, but now we're going to be rolling into our Halloween edition here of the show, looking at Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein Alive, I guess.
Yep.
I had actually never read this. I still didn't read it. I just looked at the pictures. You know.
The first book, you know, I want to write Mark Silvestri and be like, Mark, there is this man named Joe, and he just doesn't read. But because of you and your new Batman Joker book,
the only book I've read lately. like the entire book. That's the only one I've read the entire. I've read a lot of books, like partway through, or just skim stuff, but like, yeah, like it's just look. I'm making no secret. I get comics for the art. A lot of times the art is good enough within the storytelling that I can get a gist of what the book's about, and I can kind of skim and read certain parts of the book and just be as enjoyable as anything else. But that's just me. It's the way I've always been, So. So yeah, I didn't read this. I just looked at the art because that was the whole point. But Kayla did get this for me and sent these 3 issues.
first printings.
No, first printings, yes. So we got what issues 1, 3, and 4, I think.
Yep, and because we were missing one of them at the shop. But yes, Jasper.
Yes.
Kelly Jones did take over on some of the art on the very last issue.
Yeah, and we'll definitely get into that because he does a cool job. I liked his stuff.
I
in
love
this.
Kelly Jones. So
minus Kelly Jones art when Bernie passed. Yeah, this has some Kelly Jones in it as well. It's cool. I really want to get the artist edition of this and really just dive into some of the stuff. But this is pretty cool just to see. Jaylee says I actually own a hardback copy of Frankenstein with Bernie's art in it. Nice. Yep. Chris Graves, hail brother, says nice to know I'm not the only one that's just looking at. Yeah, man. Yeah. We flock together. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what it is. By the way, Chris is going to be on the show here in a couple of weeks. We're bringing him on as well. So looking forward to that. But yeah, this was interesting because I don't normally get into like the horror comic books. I'm a fan of Bernie Wrightson, just his art style. So this was interesting for me just to kind of get into this, but I really liked it. What I noticed about it, Kayla, right off the bat is I thought the way he did the emotion with Frankenstein throughout the entire book. I mean, he did a really good job of selling the emotion of the monster in different scenarios, anger, sadness, thoughtfulness,
the humanness within him. That's what he was conveying with the artwork. I mean, a lot of Bernie did work, I think it was from 1960s until he passed, pretty much, right? From mid 1960s until he passed. I mean, and you know who he was inspired by? He was inspired by like Jack Davis that did stuff at EC. He was also he was really inspired by Frank Frazetta. That was in an interview he had, I believe, or it was one I read or watched. I can't remember. I can't keep track, but it was seeing Frank Frazetta's work that inspired him. But then it was Jack Davis at EC Comics, a couple other people as well too. And then I think he went on and co-created, stuff at DC. What was it? Swamp Thing with Len Wein, who created Wolverine there.
Yeah, the Swamp Thing stuff was awesome. It was absolutely awesome.
But he's just a master of black and white artwork. What he does with how inking and it's just gorgeous. I mean, there's 3 people that I really enjoy looking at their black and white artwork. Obviously, Bernie Wrightson's there, Art Adams, and Kelly Jones. So. Oh,
absolutely. Were you going to say something, Mark?
I was going to say that first panel in the snow gave me Frazetta vibes.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Since Kayla mentioned that, I can definitely see that a lot in this book. A lot of what they do. I love these snow scenes in this first issue here. It just looks fun to draw. But the way that they did the character, and again, I didn't read the book, so I have no idea what the story is about. Just being honest with you guys, but apparently the monster's going on a journey, right, to find himself or something. But it's so well done that I just get into the art, so the art was so well done. Let's see if I can pause it better. Yeah, stuff like this, I love these double page spreads. It's not action, it's just environment, right? But the scene looks cold, it looks miserable. The monster always looks like he's in some kind of agony, which is what I really love about how he portrays the emotion of this character.
I can't remember if it was Neil. I do not have the answer to, because if I had the answer, I would definitely give it to you. But I actually think he got his start. It was working on why can't I think of what it was?
Thank you, Edwin. Appreciate you, brother.
What was it? His first professional work was the one with Denny O'Neil, Swordmaster. Someone please go. It was Nightmaster, Swordmaster, or something.
I'm at a loss, Kayla.
I think it was Nightmaster. It was a sword and sorcery book. Nightmaster, I want to say. Nightmaster or Swordmaster. I can't necessarily remember. It was the DC Showcase series. So, that was his first professional comic book work.
That's why I have you on the show, because I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm sure it's deep information.
I need to look it up now.
That everybody, we're all smarter now because of it.
Yeah, I swear that was his first professional work for DC was with Denny O'Neil.
I believe you. I believe you.
Showcase series. It was Nightmaster or Swordmaster. It was a sword and sorcery book.
Kayla knows so much more than me when it comes to a lot of this stuff, because I was very tunnel vision as a kid, and in my 20s, I was very tunnel vision on the artists that I liked. I didn't really expand artists that I got into until I got later on in life. So Kayla's got all the information.
But I think it was EC. He did stuff with EC first, I want to say, but his first professional DC work was that. It was EC Publications first.
And then he did House of Mystery for DC.
Yeah, I know he did House of Mystery, but I believe it was Nightmaster. Look up when Nightmaster came up. I swear that was his first professional work. Nightmaster.
Jasper said Joe hates DC. He didn't even listen to Poulton's Hawkman stories.
Oh wait, it was House of Mystery. Nightmaster was in House of Mystery.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. It was in House of Mystery. Yes. Okay. Yes, it was. I'm like, sometimes I gotta fact check my brain. I'm like,
Showcase 84, Nightmaster Origin. Bernie
there
Wrightson.
You go.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Thank you. Like, my brain's there half the time.
I love this top panel here. I'm pretty sure I do a zoom in on here, zoom up close here, but the behind or under ice effect.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
There we go. Yeah, I just love. You can just kind of see how he worked like the whites in and everything with his art here. Yeah, the black and white of this is great, and they only did black and white. This hasn't been colored at all, Kayla. This was just a straight black and white.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never seen it in color, to be honest.
Okay.
There may be a color edition out there that exists, but I've never personally seen it.
I would almost think that color would kind of ruin this.
It would.
Because I mean, he drew it specifically for black and white with all his gray gradients, and he's got some ink wash stuff, and it really works so well as a black and white comic.
I can't see it colored.
Oh, I love this.
But this is how great of an artist that he is. And yes, this is why I judge people's artwork when it's not when it's in black and white and it looks like it. This is how I know he's a great artist.
I absolutely love this. The heavy cast shadow silhouette of this volcano or whatever it is that we're looking at here. And it's just so beautifully drawn. The light sourcing. Oh, man, that makes me jealous. Yeah, I agree, Bordeaux. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
He has this gorgeous visual storytelling style and just this complex and detailed drawing technique that you don't see. And he just makes use of all the shadow work that he does.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the shading. Just
Oh, there you go. That's
it's
another
gorgeous.
one. Look at that. Yeah, I love it. Like the depth in that page on the right is just like massive. You can really feel the space in that he provides in there. Like, just that's great.
Don't you feel like you could get sucked into that right there?
Yeah, absolutely. That's like when I was flipping through this for the first time before I actually made the video. I was just like looking at certain things I kind of wanted to highlight and bring up and do close-ups like this. And some of the scenery shots in this, I mean, it very was much like like a motion picture.
Mm-hmm.
Like novelized version of this, but he did really approach it very much like a movie, in my opinion. Just the way he did some of his staging of his shots, where he put his camera and just really focus on the environment. The environment was almost an entire character in these books, or at least in this first issue, that I really noticed stand out. Detail is just insane.
This is how you master storytelling within artwork. Bernie did that.
Yeah.
They're a great artist, and then there are artists that are master storytellers with their art. There could be no words in that comic. There could be none, to be completely honest. And it would still convey a story to whoever is looking at it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like that, and that plays good for someone like me who doesn't really want to read the book. I just want to look at it. It is drawn, and the story is so well told that I can get the gist of what's going on. Like, I don't feel like I missed out on reading the book, because I feel like I got a feeling of what it was about, And if I really wanted to get into the details, I'd go back and I could actually read certain stuff and fill it in that way. But it was just so well done. I mean, I got the gist of what's going on in the first issue and the next issues going forward, because it's great storytelling.
It's the mood that he sets within the pages of his artwork. It really sets, how can I put it? Like it breathes emotion into the atmosphere for the writer. Any writer that receives art like this, you're going to be able to write. Otherwise, you are a sucky writer. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you have to be a horrible writer to not come up with anything for what is being conveyed on these pages. Like, look at that. That is
it's beautiful. Pause. There we go. Yeah. It's we're getting into some good stuff here. Lorad said, this gives me a sense of dread, loving the atmosphere. Yeah, like, so well done. DM Sante. I'll check that out in a second, man.
Yeah, this first page, another Frazetta vibes for me. And that inside back cover pinup for the first issue, I saw like a lot of Dale Keown in it. I wonder if Wrightson was a influence on Dale.
Oh, he absolutely was.
Yeah.
Yep. In fact, Dale's got the artist edition of this, and there's been a couple of times he's been on stream when we've had him on this channel where he's pulled it up specifically, and we'll flip through it. And a lot of stuff he talks about, like light sourcing, like he gets a lot of his lighting from Wrightson and a lot of it from the artist edition, where he just points out just the brilliant way of how Bernie lights things, amongst a lot of other stuff. But yeah, oh yeah.
Just the proportions, everything that he does, and the hands that he does on everything in this book are just absolutely gorgeous. And I'm very picky about hands, because a lot of people cannot draw hands. I'm sorry. Like, they just
hands are hard to fucking draw.
Claw-like or thick and sausage-like. I'm sorry, but these are great hands. Even
they're like the Hogarth hands, right? Am I saying the right name there? The Bern Hogarth drawing. Somebody, Chris probably knows what I'm talking about. I think I'm saying the right name, but it reminds me of those style hands from those anatomy books and everything that you can get. But yeah, this is just, the scene here is just beautiful to look at. It's haunting, the way that he's obviously the way that he's lit the scene, but just the way that he's kind of incorporated the grays and the blacks, a little bit of the ink wash or whatever it is he's doing for some of the cooler tones that he's got going on. Just a beautifully drawn picture, not really muddied up with a bunch of script either, and that's what I like about it. You know, there's just a minimal amount of script, so you can really get the look at the grass. Look at the fucking grass in this picture. Like, I'm sorry, and I said this before. Like, I was on with John. We were John and I were streaming together doing something, and I get sucked into looking at stuff like this and tiny little things because I'm an art nerd. Tiny little things in here that I will really notice more than the massive picture. Like I noticed the grass. The grass is just really cool. It's just well drawn. The tree in the background. Look at that tree. It's a beautifully drawn tree. I mean, just gorgeous. You know, like those are the things that I kind of like that I'll notice, you know, that really get me excited about it.
And you know what I love too? Is that there are things on this page too. Like when you look at the gravestone and everything, just everything visually, it pops out at you in different ways. Like when you're gonna go down to that headstone, I'm assuming that looks 3D. That looks completely 3D how that's drawn.
Oh, pause. Yeah.
It's just
all the gravestones. I mean,
everything.
Fuck.
The proportions, everything that he did were just so aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Look at the hand. Like I can't, the hands. I literally feel like Bernie Wrightson is like how he was inspired. I mean, he was inspired by Graham Ingalls too, I think was another one too that he listed as an inspiration. But I literally feel like if you look back at Jack Davis's work and you combine Jack Davis's work with Frank Frazetta, bam, you get Bernie Wrightson. And a lot of people think like Jack Davis, Mad Magazine stuff, you got to look at his other stuff and his horror stuff he's done.
Yeah.
This is just, and just the tones that he uses it. There's a lot of grays. There are different shades of black, people. I want people to be aware. There are different shades of black.
Well, just look at like how he kind of does the shadows within his jacket or his coat or whatever it is that we are looking at here. I like how it's not solid, you know. And that's another thing too. Like this isn't the way this is done, almost like in a painterly style. So it's not adjusted to make sure that the blacks are solid black. You know, you have like that broken up kind of. How am I trying to describe this? I don't know. I can't think of a way to describe it, but. Hail, Jonas. Good to see you. I see
blue gray in here.
Ink wash. Yeah. You know, the ink wash aspect of it. Yeah. Blue gray. Yeah. It's just, I was blown away. I was blown away when I was looking at this book. I was just, stuff like this is like, this is what I live for. Give me a nice double page spread with all that detail. I can just look at it for fucking hours. And then here again, we're talking about the emotion that he puts into the monster. The way that you approach Frankenstein in this story, you know, again, you're humanizing Frankenstein. You're putting him through whatever emotions you are in this story. And he shows that. I mean, that bottom panel right there, you know, like you feel it. And look at the lighting again, the lighting on the face. And that's the stuff that like Dale was talking about. And that's where, you know, when you look at stuff like this, I can see where Dale Keown gets his influence with a lot of lighting on his characters' faces. From stuff like what Wrightson's doing right there. Yeah, we got
guy.
Darko D 13 says, "Did anyone grab the Bernie FPG art book?" Huh? They're shipping it now, apparently. I don't even know about it.
Jasper, there are plenty of shades of black. I did hair for years. Trust me. I could name like 4 different black hair colors right now. Trust me. Oh, and Sheldon, thank you.
Here's another one.
Night Obsidian. A lot of black shades. Yeah. Blue blacks. Purple blacks. There's
blue
your brown base blacks. I can trust
blue
me.
That brickwork is fantastic.
Yeah.
Look at the rain coming down.
There is so much in this picture when you stop and actually look at it. It's the subtle rain, right? It's not like a really heavy rain, but just enough where it's like you can see that it's raining. You got the entire library in the window behind him, detailed out. I mean, the books, it's not just shapes out. Like he's really kind of like drew every single book the way they're laying against each other in the window behind him, the perspective of the people below. I think I do a zoom in here and just kind of cover this entire page, but the detail in every single person and every single like carriage and horse, all the stuff that's the horses, all the stuff that's on the ground, I mean, it's really just insane. The amount of detail in this page is crazy. Like, look at that. Is it's 11 by 17, or actually I don't even know how big it is they drew this on, but look at that amount of detail, the attention to detail within the cargo or whatever you want to call it that these people are loading up. Obviously
correct.
obviously the vintage feel of the time that he's got the characters in, but like that's damn impressive. Like that just blows me away as an artist seeing this kind of stuff. And again, the subtle rain effect is just perfect.
Even the detail in horses. Don't you feel like he said, I'm going to take everything that people struggle with drawing and I'm going to put it into this book?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like literally.
Yeah, there's a shot at the library behind. Look at all those books.
Yeah.
Look at that. We got the green laser in the house. Hail, good to see you. It's not a color book. There's no blue black happening. It's printed in black and gray, or black and ink and gray. Yeah, but I swear
there are tones of blue in those colors.
Yeah.
You will not prove me wrong. I'm sorry.
I gotta agree with Kayla Jasper. It is a black and white book, but when you look at it, especially in person, I mean, at least I'm assuming you have it as well. But like, I feel like there are definitely colored tones, like bluish kind of tones in there.
There is,
and if not, it's just so well done.
There are literally gray blues. There are literally slate gray. I can go on.
This issue is like, all right. This is like I'm having artgasms over here. Like because this issue is just like double page spread after double page spread of just fucking beautiful art. Like, damn. How can you not get excited looking at stuff like this? I mean, I don't know how long it took him to draw this. But God bless him because he went all out. I mean, just look at the depth of this room.
If you checked the dates on the books, you could see that the books were not all released at a
consecutive.
They were not all released consecutively, so that will give you some kind of idea.
Chris is saying he took his time for sure.
This was definitely a practice. This was definitely a passion project for him. I would love to say. I believe that this truly was, and this is probably one of his greatest pieces of work that he has left on this planet.
I would say it's probably his most well-known or famous ones for sure. I mean, I had never Creep
Show, Psycho,
I had never read
Batman.
Well, okay. Can I say this about Wrightson? I'm a big fan of Wrightson's work, but I much rather stuff like this than the comic book, like the superhero comic book stuff he did. And that's not to take away from anything from Batman or Swamp Thing or anything, but this style that he used on like stuff like this, I was way more impressed with his art style than like the comic book stuff, I guess. And that's just me.
I'll tell you what, this double page spread makes me want to see him draw the Batcave. I don't know if he's ever done anything like that before, but yeah, that would be incredible.
That's a good one. I wonder if he has, because I bet he would knock it out of the park. But again, look at all the animals in the jars.
Yeah.
On the shelves. Like when you really look at it, like he spent time detailing out all the different skulls in those jars, the taxidermy or whatever it is that's going on here. Way in the back beyond that woman, there's another whole set of shelves with skulls and shit. I mean, this is like a Where's Waldo of art, just figuring out what you can find in these pictures. Yeah, I was just absolutely blown away when I saw this. I was just dumbfounded by the amount of stuff. Look at those what are those fucking
they look like Komodo dragons to
Komodo
me.
dragons, thank you. That's what it is. Yeah. Yep, I think it's a Komodo dragon.
Octopus in a jar.
I was going to say Mondo Gecko, but I was like, that's not it.
A Mondo Gecko.
Yeah, it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle character, one of my favorite characters. Come on, Mondo Gecko.
Mondo Gecko, though, I'm like, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, Mondo, what? Chat, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Mark knows what's going on. Mondo Gecko,
is
come on.
There really? And I'm talking about in real life. Is there a Mondo Gecko?
Oh, no.
I know about TMNT.
Okay, all right. No, there's not a real Mondo Gecko in real life. I was just saying that's the only thing that came into mind. Couldn't think of a Komodo dragon. It was just Mondo Gecko.
That's Joe's dream project. Bernie Wrightson's Mondo Gecko.
Yes. Sold.
The new character in Reaper Destroyer. Watch out, everyone.
Yeah, there you go. Man. Yeah, I'm just so excited. Points lost. Get out of here, Jasper. No points lost. Come on.
It's
Hail,
I think
Wolford.
Bernie was always into doing the horror spectrum of artwork.
He was great at it. Yeah.
So I think that is why this stands out more than other things. Although his Swamp Thing run is extremely, extremely popular, I will say.
Absolutely. I say this Frankenstein one because I feel like if you Google Bernie Wrightson, a lot of stuff that pops up first is like the Frankenstein stuff. Maybe I could be wrong, but
no.
Sheldon said Mondo Gecko rode the motorized skateboard. Yes, in real life, absolutely did. Hell yeah, he did. I used to have an awesome action figure of Mondo Gecko. It was my favorite. Some shenanigans going on there with that chick. Some sexual fantasies or whatever that she and the old man are doing. More power to him. But what I was really impressed with was his staircase. Look at that staircase. It's beautiful. I feel like you could walk up that.
Yeah.
I feel like that looks like fucking real life. Like I could just jump in there right now and just trot my way on up to the top of that staircase. That would be fun. So good. Look at that hand too.
Look at the hands.
Gorgeous.
I'm telling you, the
Gorgeous.
hands. Even the folds within the clothing and everything, just everything, it works so perfectly. And I love how you can look at things individually, right? You can look at individual pieces within this page, okay?
Yeah.
And everything individually looks good, but then it all works together. Like it all works uniform. It's all strong artwork is basically what I'm getting at. Like there's nothing weak. There's no bad artwork within this. It's interesting.
No, there isn't.
When Kelly takes over.
It is because it's a different feel, but it's also obviously very, very good. It's hard for me, I think, for anybody to follow a guy like Wrightson because he's so stylized. Mm-hmm. But Kelly Jones does a good job of his version of this. Again, the imagination of putting all these like beakers and fucking scientific, sci-fi, whatever you want to call it, stuff into this picture on the left.
I'm sorry. I have to pull it up.
What happened? What I miss?
Leandro's here. He said he bought this book in Spanish. Not only can I read it, but I received it at 50% less. Let's go.
There you go. Leandro knows what's up. Jasper said that female face looks a lot like Kelly Jones's females. Interesting. I will be honest with you. I don't know. I like Kelly Jones, but I don't know enough of his art to really pull out like certain stuff. Ooh. But who knows? Maybe Kelly Jones was helping him out at this point as well before he fully took over. You don't know, but damn, look at this. Look at this. I love this. Wow. You can definitely see where artists like Silvestri got their style and feel with the folds of fabric. They really pulled a lot from guys like Wrightson.
I can't show this book though because it's
got boobies.
Well, this is if anyone gets a chance to read Hammer, the book that Kelly Jones wrote and drew himself. Read it. There's some interesting stuff that goes on in it, but that's like I can't find the Kelly Jones book I want to show right now.
Darko D13 says, "How long did this even take him? I think he did this whole his whole trading card series in 2 years. I have no idea how long it took him to draw this. This is really one of the first times I've seen. Like, obviously, I looked through these before I made the video, but I never really read the Frankenstein stuff before until Kayla got it and sent it to me. So, Desolate Studios or Soul Studios, hail. It says the line work is insane and the use of light and shadows is beyond immortal.
7 years.
7 years.
Wow.
So
There you
same
go.
thing as Mark Silvestri working
I was
on
just about to
it.
say,
It's a
yeah.
lucky number. It's a lucky number, I guess.
Is this a trading card set too, according to Darko?
I keep hearing people saying there's a trading card set of this
Wow.
too, so there must have.
He
I
did
was not
the
aware of it,
card
so
series as well. Yes.
Frankenstein is thinking about it. Yeah, the new Batman is very Wrightson. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? There's a lot of great artists that are slow, but if they're going to produce this kind of work, like I'm all about it. You know, for sure.
He was slow, and so is R. Adams, and R. Adams is one of the best.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Honestly,
What a
any
burst
really
of energy.
any really good artist, in my opinion, is slow when they're producing their best work. You have to be fast for industry standards,
Look
you
at
know,
that.
which they can be. Ugh, this is just ugh.
Which issue is this
Man.
one here?
This is 3 because we skipped.
Okay,
We didn't
so
have 2, right?
4 is
So
one.
this
Yeah, 2 is the one that I could
Right,
not
yeah.
find. So in this here, I'm trying to think.
Man, look at that.
This
God, that's
is
awesome.
what was I going to say about this page? Bordeaux. R. Adams is not boring. He can never be boring. I got distracted from that.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be careful, Bordeaux. Kayla is an Art Adams simp, so just be careful.
Even though his
and fight
Wolverine is
words.
not my favorite.
Fight
I'll
words.
say that his Wolverine is not my favorite, though.
That's true. You can admit that. You can admit
I
that.
can. He's like my favorite artist, but his Wolverine is not my favorite style of Wolverine. So.
Oh yeah. I thought this was kind of cool.
He did this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they really got. Again, I don't know what those things are called. Like, I can only think of like Binker from like
Beakers.
Sesame Street or something.
They are
Beakers. But it's just like that. To me, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I don't know what the rest of that stuff is, but
No, that was just ads for stuff that was coming out.
so that was okay. So now this is the last one. Whatever. Was this the last one? I don't think we've looked at all 3 yet.
We didn't look at all 3 yet. There we go.
Okay, this is the last
that's
one. All right, this is the last one I had.
Yeah, 4.
4. Okay. Bernie had 2 card sets in the early 90s.
Mhm.
Okay. I did not know that. Adams used to be great. Now he's more of a cartoonist. He should go do Garfield or something.
What are you talking about?
Damn.
That artist pioneered the style now that people are trying to emulate and emulating shitty.
That's true. Art Adams inspired almost all of the great 90 artists as well. So this is the issue that Kelly Jones really has a lot to do as well. So you get to see kind of a cool contrast between the 2 styles, which I think works well together. He's not as detailed as Wrightson, but he has his, you know, he still works well with that black and white gray tone kind of feel. As you can see here, you definitely see the difference right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer Wrightson, but I mean, Kelly
page.
does a good job. I'm sorry, what?
I like that they let you know who did what page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe, you know that guy from Sesame Street?
I don't even think it's Sesame Street either. I think it's the Muppet. It's the Muppets, isn't it?
Yeah, the Muppets. That's what I was referring to. I just Binker, right? Or whatever. Beaker. Yeah, he doesn't do a lot of rendering. Yeah, it's very hard shadows and
very
hard
heavy
lines. Mm-hmm.
Artistically, Kelly
but this
Jones
was really
does,
cool.
like everything wrong, but it's so right with how he does it. So, but I think he was probably the only person that could possibly, like, the artwork could blend in enough with the other stuff that was going on. I think he was the perfect person to be chosen to take over.
I agree.
This project, I can't see someone else doing it. If that makes any sense. I mean, it's like, so Kelly Jones's stuff, it's a lot of people hate his work, actually. I'm not gonna you
I've
know,
always dug
sugarcoat and
it.
everything. I love his work. And that's
Yeah.
because his stuff is deeply saturated. It's grotesque looking. It's like, how else can I explain it? It's like thick black inkness, saturated.
Thick
You know, it's
black.
all saturated with
Know what's on Kayla's
atmosphere and
mind.
everything. Especially when he's inking his own work and everything. But I love his stuff. So
Leandra says there a difference between the comic version and its hardcover version. There was no in between artists, but a lot of text. I've never seen the artist edition, so I'm not sure. Is that what he's talking about? The artist edition, I would assume.
So there is a difference between the comic book version and then there's a hardcover version. It's there, and there's an artist edition as well. So there is one that's just it's a Mary Shelley Frankenstein story that's illustrated, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And then there is an artist edition, I believe, that contains both pieces
So
of
it's a
work.
there are two different versions then, huh? So he does an actual. So some of the other art I'm gonna probably show in the PDF that I brought up might be from the
Mary Shelley one.
Oh, okay. That's what I want to get then. I want to get the Mary Shelley illustrated one. That's because I think some of the work that he does in that is just godlike. Hail John Malin, godlike. This is beautiful. And I think this is the end of it too, just how he kind of ends. He's just makes this kind of finds himself kind of moment. But I just love the scene. I'm pretty sure this is Kelly Jones.
It tells you if you go to the front of the book. Oh, if you go, I mean, not, I keep forgetting the book.
Yeah.
What am I on tonight? I'm sorry. I'm like on a whole nother level.
I was say, I don't have the books by me anymore. Yeah, this is a video I made a week ago. Remember, Kayla, when you were supposed to be on a week ago? I'll have to look because
I would agree. I think it's Kelly Jones.
That's what I think.
It is.
It has a Wrightson feel, but it doesn't scream to me Wrightson. So I definitely think it's Kelly Jones.
Look at how.
But regardless,
heavy, look at how heavy the black is.
That's why I think it's Kelly Jones. Thick blacks from Mary Shelley.
And then it was funny when people hated Kelly's stylized Batman. You need to appreciate Kelly Jones' Batman next. I
always liked his Batman. In fact, his Batman covers for the what was it? The Nightquest?
That's like
Nightfall, yeah.
Nightfall. Thank you. The Nightfall covers that he did were my main draw to the books. In fact, I was always disappointed with the interior art, honestly, compared to the covers. But yeah, that Bane, the Bane cover was awesome. Just all the covers were awesome. Like that was a perfect choice for the Nightfall series to have him do the covers of that run.
Definitely.
So that was.
And this is, he had passed away.
Yeah, there we go.
He also, too, he inspired a lot of the work for The Walking Dead. So that's why, like, in the Walking Dead TV show, where it was in one of the issues, it was on the TV show, I think they may have done it in one of the issues, too. There was a rest in peace for him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. That's too awesome. I think I just put all the books together here to show which ones we looked at. But yeah, that was great. Thank you, Kayla, for sending me those. I thoroughly enjoyed looking at them. Oh,
sorry, I just saw a comment here.
What do you got?
Am I familiar with the comic art of Christophe Chaboute? Chaboute, you mean?
Never heard of him.
Did he do the book alone? Or did he do Alone? Did he do like a thing, like a Jack London book? The name sounds familiar. I'm just not sure if that's what it is.
Yeah, I got you, Jasper. I'll bring it up here in a second.
I'm trying to think. I feel like Alone. He did this book Alone, and then something like it was a Jack London book or something. Okay, Bordeaux said yes. See, my brain sometimes works.
Jasper or Leandro said, I have the Mary Shelley. That's the expensive one. I believe Fraga said he bought the international version and got it cheaper. That's when a light bulb went off, and I bought it in Spanish. Just got the international version. Well, maybe I'll have to do that because I'm not going to read it anyway. So, like, honestly, I'll just
you can get a soft cover of it for like $15.
Oh fuck! I'll just get the soft cover then.
Yeah,
hardcover's nice and everything, but I just want to look at the art. So I'm like, I don't care if it's
but I also feel
hardcover or
there's
soft
a lot of reading in it because it's her book illustrated.
I read the original novel, believe it or not, when I was a kid. Yeah, for school
or
yeah, for school. Yeah, when you were presented books that you could read, and Frankenstein was one of them, I was like, fuck yeah, we'll read Frankenstein. It was a good book too. Good book. This is what Jasper wanted me to bring up. Very, very cool. Let me bring up 1974, and whoever colored it was 2021. I like that though. That's interesting to see, like a colored kind of version of this art. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad colored.
It doesn't look bad colored at all. It just doesn't convey the same emotions that I feel when I look at it in black and white. I do like that they did do colors on it that would be. I had to pull that up.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate you, brother.
That they're very Frazetta-like colors, I would say. But
I like it. I do like it. I would like the black and white better.
I like the black and white better. It's from a Kickstarter. Wait to purchase eBay on the first month. Everyone has to make rent and sells on the cheap.
Now that's a strategy. It's a good one. I like that.
That is a good strategy.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Jasper. Appreciate it. I like that a lot. That was really cool.
Yeah, Bordeaux, I do agree with this comment here. The bright upper corner doesn't work with the solitary light source. I agree with that. It's kind of distractor. It's distracting.
What it is.
Distracting because what happens is that is not where you want your focal point to be in this piece. With that brightness, your eye automatically is going there. I don't know about you guys. Does your eye automatically go to that bright light? Because that's where my eye goes.
Mine doesn't, but I'm weird. I guess when it like my eye automatically just went to Frankenstein, the character, and then I kind of see the rest of.
For the longest time, I thought it was a reflection in the glass. from
oh
the
picture.
I can see that.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's not even part of the painting. Astro Zombie said kind of a Hammer horror colors. I'm not quite sure what that is.
Hammer,
but
Hammer
they do.
Horror.
They do.
You don't know what Hammer horror is? You should Google Hammer horror real quick.
Why do you have to put me to work? To want to do it.
That's what she said.
Okay, Hammer horror.
Jasper says it's his light fixture.
It's my light fixture now that I have a light. Yeah, I was streaming in darkness for
Hammer horror.
A long time.
I see.
Mark, you have no clue. It was like complete darkness. I thought I was in a basement.
Yeah.
Then I got a light that worked.
I see a lot of Dracula.
Okay. So you're getting like the kind of idea. If you look at some of the posters,
movie posters
and everything, yeah, that's what I kind of want you to look at, that kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah, I see what you guys are saying.
But they did movies in
I
general.
see what you're all saying. I got you. I also have this. What is that? This PDF I wanted to bring up. Just random art that I found online that I want to look at that wasn't in the comic. Jasper is ruining the art. He didn't see it. But still, the light on his chest. Moved on. And the shadow. I guess I could read right here. Light in his chest and the shadows match where the actual light is, so the corners are the same. Interesting.
That's a Frazetta technique. But opposite. Where he.
That's who I was trying to think of. Chris Lee. Thank you, Jasper. I didn't even It was on my mind. You didn't even know it. You just answered the question. I was trying to figure out who the hell I was looking at. Yeah, Chris Lee, Dracula. Thank you. Was a lot of the stuff I was seeing pulled up. So let me see if I can zoom. I got zoom. This is. I wish I could find like a really high def version of this, because this is one of the things where I would just spend hours looking at.
That's from. Well,
Is this a Mary Shelley?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I want to get. That's what I want to get. Then I want to get the Mary Shelley artist
I can
version, whatever edition, to get some of this stuff, because these are this is the art that just blows me away completely. You know, the detail. Like, I want to know how the fuck long it took him to draw this. I love the line work on here, the shading, everything. Like when you actually just kind of go through this picture piece by piece and just starting from one end, just kind of just going through it, just looking to see what you can get. Like I didn't even notice this body for the longest time when I first saw this picture, because it was just all the detail that was here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I just want to like zoom in and look at all the stuff on the back shelf. And
yeah, and like some of the stuff will pixel out a little bit, but you can get actually pretty close with this. And just look at all that I mean,
so there's a
imagination to put all that stuff in there.
There's a soft cover edition of this. There's a soft cover edition of it. Well, there's a hardcover. I think you can get a hardcover one too for $15 on Prime. But it has like Stephen King did the introduction on it. We were supposed to get both of these books back in October, and we did not get them. Diamond fucked us
Bastards.
on our Halloween shit.
Well, you let me know when I get in. I'll take one or 10 of them.
But the book has like that on the cover.
This image?
I believe it's a piece of that image. I want to say.
Probably the one with these.
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, and I can't remember. I actually have the artist edition of one of them around here someplace, and then I have all the issues that I sent you, but I haven't fully gone through everything, so I don't know where anything really is.
Yeah, Jasper said those lines are Silvestri's Batman. Yeah, current Silvestri, I say, is very heavily influenced by Wrightson and maybe a couple other artists, but definitely has that feel. Love this hand right there. I mean, it's very, Dale-like.
You can see Jasper's on a roll tonight. You can see all of the artists that ripped off this style on this page.
Influenced, Jasper. Influenced. We are all influenced by somebody. Man, I'm just so damn impressed. Just the layout of this page.
The more I look
storytelling in it.
That Batman book, though, now.
Oh, I saw it right off the bat. Yeah.
The black and white Ashcan. I mean, I never looked at it that way because I just realized I stopped my camera. I never look at it that way because whenever I see Wrightson stuff, I just think Frazetta and Jack Davis had a baby. And that's Bernie Wrightson. So.
I've always known that Wrightson was one of the big influences on Silvestri amongst other guys, but especially current day Silvestri was very influenced by Wrightson. And right as soon as he started 10 years ago, when he kind of really started doing this style, Silvestri, and when Batman came out, I was just like, yeah, like this is Silvestri's doing his version of Wrightson right now. And why not? It's fun. All right. So just as an artist, when you go in and look at stuff like this, before we get too pixeled out, doing stuff like this to show shapes and folds is fun. It's a lot of line work, but it's fun to draw stuff like this instead of just straight lines and just do the folds in there like you would classically see, maybe like Silvestri would have done in the 90s. You can definitely see where Silvestri got his kind of rendering style for the Batman book right now off of the stuff like this. And it's just these just different shaped lines that convey shape in motion to fabric and to just anything, shadowing, gradients and shadows. It's a fun style to draw in. So, I mean, I've been putting a bit of it into my own work. Look at that fucking grass. All right, people. Just want to point this out before we get too far. Look at the grass and the leaves. I mean, come on. God, It's awesome.
You know
Anyway.
what, too, whose art style is similar in a way that I see. Have you ever heard of Jeremy Bastian? And he did Curse Pirate Girl.
No. I think you've
Okay.
told me about him before,
Let me
but I don't
see
think
if
I've
I
actually
can
seen his work.
find. Let me see if I can find something. This is one I wish I had. Well, there's a bunch of stuff that came up, but I'm sure
Yeah, Barry Windsor Smith for sure. Bordeaux.
there's a certain.
Jay Ryan said, "Yeah, this is why I love to see his reference material for this book. I wonder if he was using specific film references or books, etc." I'm sure he had to been using some kind of references. I mean, just most really good artists use any kind of references, whether it's actual photos of nature or just whatever, to really kind of get that kind of work. I would imagine. I got so many disagreements with normies and SJWs this week by saying the Silvestri book is the best Batman in the last decade. It's true, though.
It is true.
You keep on them about that, Jasper, because it's absolutely true. I will get in arguments with people about that as well. Like, it is the best Batman book in a long time.
What
Again,
do you
it's
compare Tom Taylor's Batman book?
Yeah, fuck.
It's just sitting there.
Get the hell out of here.
Sitting there. Let me tell you, I saw. First of all, for a book to just sit there, especially when it's a character that sells itself, that's a bad sign. I'm sorry. I'm in the shop. I was in the shop, and there were the amount of tourists that we get here in Salem. I'm not judging by just the everyday people that come in. I'm judging by what the tourists are getting too, because we get tourists from all around the world October. So what does that tell you when certain books are sitting there on the shelf? And it is a character that is a beloved character, and the character usually sells itself, and people still don't want the book. That says a lot.
100%. 100% it says a lot.
Give me 1 second. I have to. This cat keeps crying, so maybe if I let her in, she stops for a minute.
Kayla's cats are in heat, by the way.
So
just so you know.
My one cat's in heat. Sorry.
Again, what I love about what Silvestri's doing now with his stuff, and what you can see, in my opinion, is a direct influence from Wrightson is this kind of line work, this kind of like sketchy gradient work to break up the shadows. This was a specific picture that Dale Keown brought up, because I think this was actually on the cover of his artist edition, but he brought this up specifically when it came to like lighting of the face, and this is just beautiful lighting on this face. And it's no heavy blacks, maybe a couple spots here with the hair, but everything else is really just broke up into line work, but it just works so well. And this kind of stuff is just fun to do. I'm enjoying doing stuff like this more and more the older I get as an artist, and kind of how I'm breaking away from a little bit of the 90s feel. And I always have a 90s style, but incorporating things of this into my art. Again, look at all the different cool textures you can get with just different line work, just throwing different line work all around, but it just creates this awesome texture and clothes and just whatever else you want to do. Like, to me, that is fun as hell for any artist, I would say. If there are artists that are still in the chat, I mean, you got to tell me if I'm crazy, but I think that is fun as hell to draw that kind of stuff. The Tom Taylor book has art by Andy Kubert and Sandra Hope. I haven't read it.
Art
is
only one half of it. If the storyline is not great, it's sorry. Art is one half. You need to have both. I'm sorry. You can't. That's like, there are people that read comics because they actually like the stories. That's a
They're
big
called
population.
weirdos.
Oh, like me. Like me.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I would love to see this colored, because I would love to see how the colorist approaches the forest. But as far as black and white goes, I really like how he really contrasts the heavy shadows here with the character in the foreground, with the background being actually very lit up. The light source is very bright here, and he doesn't go into a lot of detail. He just kind of indicates where tree limbs are, and your eye kind of fills in the rest of where leaves are and all this stuff. Yeah, it's just really awesome. And there's a chick down there. Look at that. I didn't even notice that's her right now.
Oh wow, no.
Yeah, like I just noticed that there's a body right there. Okay, my focus was on these two characters for the longest time. I was looking at the grass. I was admiring the grass, and I was like, "Oh, there's a chick laying in the grass." Oh yeah, look at that! I mean, look at the vines and shit in this.
I mean, I feel like you know what colors would work well. The colors that I'm trying to think. Where's Fables? Bill Willingham's book, like the colors that were used in.
Oh yeah, I didn't read it. I know what it is.
But did you look through it? The colors that are in that would
I haven't seen it
work.
I just know what it is. Jonas, I agree. I choose art first. Yeah, me too.
I choose. You know what? I choose art, but if it's being covered up by shitty ass writing that I have to read through, no bueno. Sorry, not about that. So
there's only a handful of artists where I can get and not worry about the story. If it's like a writer I hate, if they're like teamed up with an artist I love, I'll still get the book because I just won't read it. Well, I'll know that the artist is going to be able to depict it the way that's going to be still interesting. It's just fucking badass.
It's contagious, Joe. I was like, look at that grass.
Look at that grass. I'm telling you.
Well, that's why. You know what? I wonder if you fucking. And now I don't know where my creep show book is. Like, I don't know where anything is right now.
Why is there awesome grass in the creep show book?
Joe,
what?
There is
what
a whole story about a guy that touches. This...
Wait, where we go? Wait, whoa. Family show. What is he touching now? Go into detail.
He touches
this
meteorite thing, and he starts turning into grass everywhere. Like you never watched Creep Show at least?
The movie Creep Show?
Yeah. The first one
maybe
you never
when I was
watched
younger. Maybe when I was younger.
I love how Mark just pulls up this.
I was just gonna say, Mark. He's got a display.
I gotta do it for Leandro.
Oh,
there we go. Moral Compass looks naked with someone put that championship belt in the greatest CGWF championship of all time. You'll witness a whole different Mark Poulton. That is true. He does. He is just a little bit different with that belt on.
Yeah, he's tougher than me now.
Damn, girl, you see that grass? He touched meteor growth.
Yeah. But no, the whole everything
grass.
starts. There's grass everywhere in it. Like I can't. Why can't I?
Well, I might have to check it out. Then. I think this was I still think we can get there. I thought this was badass. Every time I see this, that's
now I need
sick.
to see if I can find it.
That is one ripped xenomorph alien.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's just like you don't want to fuck with the aliens anyway, but you definitely don't want to fuck with this dude. I don't know if you heard of the Queen. This dude looks like the king. He's the king. That's what he is. And you got Batman there too. I don't know what the hell he was doing with this chick before this popped up, but it looked like he was having some fun.
Okay,
is all I'm saying.
Yeah, the Lonesome Death of Geordie Verrill. That's what it's called.
Geordie from Star Trek? Reading Rainbow, dude? The more you know.
Someone made a YouTube video of the thing.
What are we even talking about? Oh, Creep Show. Creep Show.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, Bordeaux. I agree. Yeah, this is beautiful.
But literally, the guy turns into like a whole grass thing and then like offs himself.
Well, that's not cool. Wow, I love it. Love it. I don't even know what this is from, but Teddy Bear, 1978.
It's like a jacked Teddy Ruxpin. Did you have a Teddy Ruxpin? I had a Teddy Ruxpin.
I think I did.
I did. My sister was petrified of it.
Why? Because it would talk when you put the tape into it?
Well, ours was like defective. It was like
Oh.
a Chucky doll. It was talking no matter what. But that, before I was reading, that used to read to me. That's probably why I love all the stories. Is Teddy Ruxpin. It was like fantasy stories he had. So it's like digging that as a kid. Sorry, but I hate.
I have no idea. Like says the Creep Show movie had a story about a guy who hate cockroaches and a killer yeti in a box.
Well, there was definitely
can't
one with the thing in a
remember.
box. I can't remember the cockroaches thing, but there were 2 Creep Show movies. The second one had the Indian that came to life, and the what the heck was it? It was like the sludge in the water or whatever it
Oh,
was.
that was Creep Show? Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I remember that. The shit that was in the water, the Indian, the statue.
They showed boobs,
Yeah.
and then the girl gets her face.
Yes.
Like, this guy is like basically just
I
they had
remember the
broken
boobs.
her, and then her face gets like, yeah.
I remember the
Good
cockroach
stuff.
story and the killer yeti.
Can't remember a cockroach story though. I do remember like something.
They were all
being
coming out of his mouth at the end of the
Oh.
story.
Okay, all right.
That was a very Batman posed alien right there. That's badass. That is sick as fuck.
I
Is what it is.
wonder.
Teddy Ruxpin was expensive. My neighbor had him. My neighbor had everything. Those licky bastards. Oh, lucky. Those lucky bastards. Probably licky too. I didn't mention it. Grab Nolan's Ghost of Matacumbe Key is now shadow banned. Not an accident. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That's crazy.
Do you?
If you guys missed it earlier in the show, we brought up Mark's new book, Loose Threads, which is closing tonight in a few hours, is also shadow banned on Indiegogo. So there's a link in the chat if you can find it. I'm going to post a link below after the series or after the show is done. You can still Google it. I went on and Googled it, so it's not completely erased, but you can Google Loose Threads comic book, and it will bring up the IGG page, and you can go that way. But yeah, there are too many books being shadow banned right now. And it's something needs to be done. I don't know what we do, but that's just
I'm
ridiculous.
wondering what's the cause of the shadow banning.
I'm assuming that somebody is purposely going through and flagging campaigns for some reason. I can't think of any other reason.
There's one common denominator why they're
Well,
all
I know,
being.
I know
Right,
what
exactly.
the
It's
denominator is, but I
Confiscate
just think
campaigns
like,
are getting flagged right now.
I think that's very fucking stupid. If you ask me, I think it's
It's
very
ridiculous.
stupid.
Look at all the
Okay.
money CG has raised on Indiegogo.
On Indiegogo, I
Yeah,
mean,
CG has brought Indiegogo lots of money, especially the big boys. You know, the money they're taking off of Ethan and John, and all the guys are routinely going over 100K, 200K, 300K. They get so much money, and for some reason, what is it this year? They've just now started kind of really fucking with CG in
who's
a
running
backdoor.
Indiegogo now?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm gonna Google it right now. Who runs Indiegogo?
Somebody that obviously is allowing this to happen. Expand to other platforms. Yeah, Darko, that's kind of like when I brought up Mandy. You know, Mandy has her own website, kind of like what Eric July did, where it's you can go there, you can back, it keeps track of the money, everything, but it's her own website. She doesn't have to pay a platform fee like the 7% or whatever it is we pay to IGG right now. That is a pretty decent chunk of money when they actually take it out. But she doesn't have to pay any of that right now, and that might be the way to do it. You know, get that on your own platform for a few months, and then you could throw it onto IGG for, you know, people that are still on there, put it on Kickstarter to get a different crowd, but you at least have a giant portion of that is just nobody can mess with it. You know, you control it. It's your own store. That might be the way we have to go. I don't know. It's just, this is getting ridiculous. So it's very aggravating.
Brian, that does the Eric book, has been talking about that for a very long time. I know that he's doing, I think the Guizine is going to be through what he's doing now as well. There's a lot of people that are now moving to that kind of model. I mean, if you have the ability to make a website, why wouldn't you want to just do things off of your own website and not through a third party?
Jasper said that the Ghost of Metacumbe was top 3 less than a week ago. Loose Threads was trending not too long ago, right?
Yeah, around 8:30, and then around 9 o'clock it was shadow banned. So
that's yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's only CG that we know of. I mean, we only really pay attention to CG right now. So if anything else is being shadow banned, I don't think we really know. But as of right now, it seems like only CG books, in my opinion, are being shadow banned. And it's not only like the big names, like the Frog G got shadow banned. A CG Vacation is shadow banned.
you're still
bunch
up
of
here.
What is?
I made sure you're still up here. You're still
Yeah,
up
mine hasn't yet. I'm actually surprised.
I don't have words. I think it's ridiculous for a company to do anything like that. Don't you want to make money? Don't you want to make money? Don't you enjoy making money? Don't you want to have more people come on your platform that want to do things like this? I don't understand it. I think it's a bad business decision to do that to people for no reason.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, they're still taking our money. That's the thing. They shadow ban the campaigns, but they still take the exact same amount out of the campaigns.
Now there's Zoop too. That's the other one I heard people are using. Zoop. Yeah, Zoop.
Jay Ryan said he was looking at Wix. Vaughn and Rini are already using them as websites and web stores. I have heard of Wix. Yeah, I have heard of that.
That's what I used to create my website. It was
okay.
If I could do it, anyone could do it. So.
Yeah, it's
they have disgruntled employees effing our people up. It's the only sensible action. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that someone's doing it on purpose. It's just how do you stop it? How do you fight back? Pull off the platform. I don't know. But I heard Bancroft put out a very good video the other day about it. Like, you can't just go boycott IGG because there's a lot of small creators that are on IGG. You don't want to just say like, hey, we can't support you anymore because your campaign's on IGG. It's one of those things. It's kind of a rock and a hard place. Like there are so many campaigns that are on IGG that you can't just boycott them because you're going to be hurting your fellow creators. It's the same thing with the Kickstarter thing where people were like, we're not doing Kickstarter for a reason, and you wouldn't back a Kickstarter campaign. I think it's just find other platforms to work on, spread out other than just IGG and Kickstarter. Do what Mandy's doing or do what Rini's doing. Have your own direct, stores where you can do it. I guess that's it. That's the only answer because I don't see it changing. I'm like, unless
the good thing is,
I don't know.
most of our promotion is coming from like YouTube, Twitter. Only when our books are trending, like at the beginning and ending campaigns, I feel like the search engine is important over there.
Right.
And, like that's when like the campaigns are the hottest. So it's a shame like right now that it's affecting a lot of campaigns that are about to close.
Yeah.
That makes me so angry. Like,
oh, it does.
It's angry because I think it's they don't even message you. There's no contact there or anything. They just do that and not say anything.
Right. Yeah. They don't tell you anything.
That's so unprofessional. And
they're not returning any messages about it either. So
what really sucks is that it used to be like, and I'm obviously fairly new to the game, but when I started my campaign, there was a guy that reached out to me and he was the guy I would go to anytime I had a question. I would message him and he would message me right back. Like I remember when I first launched Reaper Destroyer, for some reason, when I would share the link, it wouldn't have the image attached to it. It would just have the link in an empty box. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like I'm trying to share this link and get people excited about the book. And it's just sharing the link. And I messaged him about it and he hit me right back like within the day, And I was like, man, this is great. Customer service is awesome. They're really helping creators out. And, a few months later, now we're here. It's weird. IGG was already bad at getting people to discover campaigns. Kickstarter keeps you in the ecosystem. Kickstarter is another option for people going back to. I know a lot of people that are doing second campaigns on Kickstarter. I might do the same thing when I go to fulfill. I don't know.
Do a campaign everywhere that I can and get as much money as possible and put my book out there in the hands of as many people as ever could get it. I would never knock anybody about where they want to go and put their product out.
Cat.
It's just, I know. Yeah. At least she's being quiet now. So
she was satisfied.
I think everyone should go wherever they want to go. They should go put their campaign up as many times as they want to, as long as they're fulfilling all of their campaign, in the order of whoever backed it and the time, I don't see a problem with it. I don't.
I agree.
As long as that they are open and transparent with the communication involved to their backers, because life happens, things come up. There are even comic books from the big two that are fucking late, and no one can tell me, oh no, that's not true. Nope, that's true. It's true.
Oh, yeah.
I work at the shops and we don't get any communication. We get the week we go to pick up the book. Oh no, you won't be getting this book for a couple weeks. Okay. So, but that's just my thing. I don't know. I really have no words on that. I think I need a shot. That's where I'm at.
I'll do a shot.
Take a shot.
Do a shot. No, I think we're gonna end the stream here pretty soon because it's I've been dragging ass all day. I think I need to get some more sleep. I'm not getting enough sleep.
Like a whole wind of energy out of nowhere.
Oh shit.
Mark is so laid back.
He is. I told you. He's a laid back, cool dude.
I'm still
shot.
The same bottle of tequila. Do you have a
shot to the chat.
I have a Diet Pepsi.
Oh, I thought you had a Slurpee. I thought that was like a 7-Eleven cup. I was like, what kind?
This goes out to the chat. It goes out to everybody that's been shadow banned, creators. We stand with you guys. Bottoms up. Love it. I did want to. Edwin said he backed the book when we were on here, so I want to refresh real quick. Oh, actually, this hasn't been refreshed because we did cross $55,000 earlier this morning. So kudos and thank you to everybody that is out there backing. 55,090, 836 backers. Appreciate everybody. Do another shot for that. That's what I was originally do a shot for.
Well deserved.
Because it's regardless, it's been beyond a dream. This year has been amazing. The backers for this book continue to come out and help this thing climb. As I'm working on this, hopefully can just keep on going more and more by the time I get this out, aiming to get this out in July. So shout out to everybody that has backed this book, everybody that will back the book. I appreciate and love each and every one of you. Cheers. Yes. Says doing the hard stuff, man.
You know it.
That bottle is empty.
Yes, it's empty now. That was it.
Oh, that was it. That was
it. Yeah.
You have to hit the store and buy a new one. I
don't know, but I'm gonna get some Fireball instead.
Fireball.
Yeah. Also,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, Leandro pulled up a comment, but wait. So let's look at Loose Threads again.
Okay.
Which I backed. So
thank you.
I did back. I'm just sold from the whole concept and everything. I think it's a totally unique comic concept. Plus, there's a dragon. So
all you gotta do.
I just like the premises of it. It's very unique.
Thanks
Why do
so
I have
much.
an echo? Where's there an echo from? Hello. Okay, no, we're good. Okay, that's weird.
How long? Like, how many years did you say you were working on this idea for? I'm sorry.
So I wrote it 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
After getting fired by DC, and
I remember that. So it's 10 years
it didn't. It took a few years to find the right artist, but Caesar drew it. He's actually been done a couple years, but we were waiting for Anthony George, who started coloring it, then got so busy with Graveyard Shift, and we just loved his colors so much. We were like, we're just gonna wait until he has time to finish this. So after he wrapped the last Graveyard Shift, he said he was going to finally finish Loose Threads, and he wrapped it up in a couple months. So yeah, it's been stretched out over 10 years.
Out of every project that you had come out, would you say this is maybe like your favorite? I'm curious.
I would say it's my most personal project because yeah, it's a closure for me for never getting, because when I was writing Hawkman, I was also writing Evangeline over at Image, and we were in the middle of a huge storyline for that too. And out of nowhere, it just got canceled. Like, we were one of Image's top sellers at the time. And then one day I got an email from Rob Liefeld saying, "Hey, in case you haven't figured it out, the book's canceled. Stop working on it." So I was like, "Oh," I had no idea, because I kept being told how well we were doing. So yeah, so two major books in my career that I never got to complete the stories on. This is sort of giving me a closure on them.
Everybody go out and check out Loose Threads. Again, shadow banned, but you can get it here. And there is a link in the chat as well. There'll be a link below. Go check this out. Let me refresh this, because I know
I would definitely
less
say
than 5 hours.
I would definitely say if this is your most personal,
there we got 2 more backers.
This is probably going to be one of the best projects that you produce, just because it's one of the most personal ones for you.
Thank you.
From a writing perspective, at least, I know, like me personally, when I hear that someone says like this is a passion project, or this one's like personal, or it hits close to home for them, I know that there's definitely going to be something very special and intriguing about it. So
we gained 2 more backers since the last time we looked at this. 4 hours left now at 219 backers, $15,613. That is awesome. Shout out to the chat. Thank you so much for, I think we gained 4 backers since we've been on here with this. That is awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
That is awesome.
That is awesome.
We got Leandro's. Where'd it go?
I wanted to pull this up. That's
I'm sorry. Were you pulling up sometime? We were fighting over it.
Well, I was gonna say we should pull this up too, so anyone that sees this and hasn't signed up can sign up for Type 1.
Yeah, everybody go check out Type 1. That's Sean Arendt's character. You all know Sean Arendt. He was a co-host on this show. Still is a co-host when he comes back. He was a co-host on Ott and stuff. This is his book right now on Indiegogo. He's still working on it, even though he's going through a very hard time in his life and with his family. His mother just passed away last week. Speaking of which, we are going to be doing a benefit art auction on December 10th. We are still working on all the details and getting all the pieces together, but it's going to be this massive, epic event. We're going to do 3 shows in a row. It's going to start with my show, and then we're going to transfer that to Bancroft, and then we're going to go to Lord Crackhead's show after that, and just, I think, 3 major hours. And there's going to be some awesome pieces. There's some awesome pieces of art. There's some bundles, CGC graded books, a ton of stuff that can be bid on. And all the proceeds are going to be going to Sean to help pay for hospital bills and hospice bills and like all the stuff that he's left with at this point, and just try to ease the burden on him. Sean's one of our own, CG through and through. Dude's got one of the biggest hearts of anybody I've ever met. Just a fantastic dude, supports everybody. And this is our chance to get out and support him in this tough time. So come out December 10th, help spread the word. We'll have more information as it comes out, and we'll show you the pieces that are going to be up for bid too as well. And it is an auction, but it's also, the idea behind it is to raise money. So I just hope everybody has that thought process going into it. And I know I'm going to be bidding on some of the stuff as well, because some of the things we're working on is truly some cool stuff. So December 10th, mark it on your calendars. It's a Saturday. It's going to start with me and go through Bancroft and go through Lord Crackhead. It's just going to be a fun time. We're going to try to support and uplift Sean as best we can, and also have a good time between the shows as well, and put out some really cool stuff, and hopefully get that into the hands of everybody. So December 10th, mark it on your calendars. And shout out to Sean. I love you, brother.
Shout out to Sean.
Love you, Sean.
Sean, when you come back, I'm going to be the ugliest person on the channel.
You are? Well, because we all know that Kayla says that Sean is the best looking dude,
Sean's the
or best looking
one.
person
Yeah,
on the show. And
especially if he gets that Robin.
it, I would say it hurts my pride, but I'll say yes. You know, I'll say yes too. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely cheers.
Yeah.
If anybody didn't know,
real quick. Do you want to pull it up
say
before
what?
we go? Want to pull it up before we go?
Yeah. So if anybody doesn't know, let me actually gotta find it.
And Sean too, like this book that he's creating too. He's just such a genuine and amazing person, I would say. So, and the book that he's creating, he's also giving back to other people within, the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation. So that's just the kind of human being that he is. So he's creating a book that is a passion project for him, and then he's going to give back to other people through it. That says a lot about the kind of person. Jasper said Sean is the best looking person on the channel. If you're that is not true. Sean's too sexy for the channel. that's what it is.
That is true. So this is Sean's page right here, type 1. It is in, Leandro shared it, so it's in the chat. This is the sign up page. He's still working on it. If anybody sees a lot of this art, this is the art he released in his ash can last year. He's actually gone through and redrawn a lot of this stuff. So he wanted to get the ash can out in people's hands and show the story, but he wasn't satisfied. And he wanted to go and just kind of redo stuff. So you're going to see updated versions of the art from the ash can. It's going to be beautifully colored by Dan Kemp, who was a longtime Spawn colorist, along with Brian Hammerlin, there for a while in the late 50s to 100 issues. And he did a bunch of covers and colors, interior pages after that. He's going to do a fantastic job. Here is an example of the cover of type 1. So the book is going to be quality looking. This is right in the wheelhouse of anybody that likes this channel as far as like the 90s books, the Extreme Studio. Sean's big fan of Rob Liefeld and the Extreme Studio, so it's got that kind of feel to it, the nostalgic, just action in your face. He describes this as a love letter to Youngblood Strike Files. And if you guys have read that series, you know what it's about. It's big, bombastic action, double-page spreads, just fun book. And again, it's a character that deals with type 1, much like himself. So it's almost like a self-insert in that way, but it's got a fantastic story too. Like, I mean, it's deep into Aztec lore that he's built into. I mean, it's a very well crafted story. So it's definitely go sign up for it. Hopefully he'll be launching it next year when he gets everything around. And again, tune in December 10th for the art auction. It's going to be a very fun time and a chance for us to lift up one of our own. So with that being said, Mark, where can we follow you at, and what are you doing these days?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Coney Waves, which was the name of my first book, which I'm bringing back in March. Speaking of the auction, I'm donating the very first cover to Coney Waves #1 from 2006, drawn by Marat Michaels, which I'm having recolored for the relaunch in March. So it's a really fantastic piece. So I hope it goes to a good home and we can raise some money for my best friend Sean.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Kayla.
So I'm gonna be on Jeremy Lord Crackhead's channel this
You're gonna be
Sunday.
on Jeremy. Does his girlfriend know?
What?
I said you're gonna be on Jeremy. Does his girlfriend know? Come on now, get with it, Kayla.
I'm so confused. I said I'm gonna be on his channel.
She didn't get it, guys.
You're gonna get Ed mad at me and everything now? Jesus Christ, Joe. Jesus Christ.
He'll understand.
I'm gonna be on the his A Song of Feist and Ire.
I'm sorry, I threw you all off. My bad.
It was gay. Yeah, I was like, you totally screwed me up. So I'm gonna be on his channel on Sunday. Leandro will be there too. His stream on his channel. I'll be there talking about Game of Thrones stuff. Other than that, I'm trying to line up an interview for next Thursday on the Death Curse channel. And I'll be here next Tuesday with you. So I guess I'll see you next Tuesday, Joe.
Yes, I will be here. I'll be on with Devil Flyer tomorrow at 3. I think
Oh, you
we'll go
will
on
be.
and, yep, hang out with him.
Hmm.
Yes, I'll be on
Swing
Devil
away.
Flyer tomorrow at 3. Otherwise, Thursday I'm going to. Who do I have on Thursday? Hold on a second, let me look real quick. I don't have a Thursday show next Thursday because I'm going down to hang out with Sean. But this Thursday I've got Pumps back on. Sheldon Martin and Chris Graves. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun show. Thursday, 8:00. Tune in for that for JMS Talks Live. And otherwise, I'll be back here next Tuesday. And that's it. Hopefully, everybody got out and voted. I'm gonna go see what everything is looking like in the elections. So everybody, take care of each other. Be good to one another. And as always,
Oh, Jesus Christ!
jeez.
My cat just clawed the shit out of my back. Oh,
Watch out for
what an
cats.
ending.
Yeah. Picture me naked. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
Into the world war, 70s, a breath after the war. Life was confusing because of my age. Should my eyes open for tomorrow's game? I can't help the way I am. There's no trust